Matthias Lauda, 23 years old and a Formula 3000 driver. He will test 5 sports cars for Motorvision on the Saxon Ring: Porsche GT3, Lamborghini Gallardo, Lotus Exige, Ferrari 575M Maranello, and today, the Aston Martin Vanquish. The Vanquish, the James Bond car. You should burn the sound onto CD. The Vanquish has 12 cylinders and almost 6 liters capacity. The 450 horsepower moved the 2-ton ship from 0 to 100 in 5 seconds. The handling is a bit like a tanker, but it's still fun to drive it to its limits. The shark mouth is just phenomenal. Personally, I really like this car, especially the design. I think it's one of the most beautiful cars on the market at the moment, because it is very wide, very bullish, and it really has a big backside, but I really like the design. You need to spend €236,460 for this power pack. This gives you a top speed of 306 kilometers an hour, but no ESP. Well, the cockpit is quite okay. I think the steering wheel is a bit too wide. The reverse gear is a bit cumbersome. You need to push the button a few times before the gear is in. But the positive thing about the car is, of course, its sound. I'm going to start it up. Another thing I don't really like about the car is the finish of the leather. This could be a bit better. And I don't understand why you use the buttons of a normal Ford in an Aston Martin, like here, for example, or on the dashboard here. So this is the V12 engine. As you can see, the engine is really big, and that makes the car a bit sluggish. I miss the lower torque in the engine because from the bottom up it's not very fast. The Aston's torque is 542 Newton meters, but a bit late, only at 5,000 RPM. Yes, when it comes to changing gears, the car is not bad. You can change gear just like in Formula 1 with the toggle gear. But what I like when changing down is that it changes down the gears with double clutch. It does this quite cleanly and gently. When you change gears up, you can feel a slight hesitation. This could be improved, in my opinion. In my opinion, the gears are a bit too long. But you can push the Vanquish up to 7,000 RPM, and this with a V12 suction engine. You should experience this inferno at least once. The limit range in this car starts quite late, but your reflexes need to be sharp because there is no ESP. About the steering, for me it's a bit too soft and you don't feel the curve very well because it swims a bit too much, the steering. The steering reminds you of a normal car.
Also die Lenkung, die erinnert mehr an einen Normalwagen.
The steering should have more return. The Vanquish tells you something quite clearly. I am a very, very heavy car. Normally, you would need a steering system for a car like this that's more direct and a bit harder, where you get more of a driving experience when you are driving. The driving behavior is, well, I thought it was a sports car, but in my opinion, it's a bit too sluggish and too soft for the racetrack. The Vanquish is a Gran Turismo which you can use for long tours quite comfortably and powerfully. When it's wet, you can tell the car weighs an awful lot, especially when braking, and in curves you notice that the car is a real tanker.
Richtiger Tanker ist. To sum the car up, I would say that the car is very, very nice, but not really suitable for the racetrack because it's simply too heavy, much too sluggish. The engine doesn't pull from the bottom, the gears are a bit too long. The car is really nice, but really not suitable for the racetrack. Oh well, you mustn't forget that Matthias Lauder is used to super direct and agile Formula 3000 cars. We think that the Vanquish is an understatement in motion, despite the Ford Mondeo buttons.